This is my Captain America movie review. I'm going to tell you my initial thoughts, and then I will give you a huge warning before I get into spoilers, because yes, I'm going to spoil this film. But before we do that, if you could do me a huge favor and please hit the subscribe button. It's a free thing that you could do that helps out the channel. Thank you very much. Let's get into it. This movie's bad. It is just a terrible movie. You could feel the reshoots. You could see they didn't have a proper direction. I give it like a 2.8 out of 10. It is right there with Ant-Man Quantumania, which I think was one of the worst MCU films ever produced. There was no stakes. And they didn't even know who they wanted the villain to be. And it just was all over the place. This could have easily been a Falcon film. He really wasn't Captain America to anyone, just in a few photo ops at the White House. Other than that, he was basically the Falcon trying to save his friend and get his friend out of jail. That was the movie. That's it. Terrible film. We're at the 1 minute mark. I'm getting into spoilers. And listen, for some new people here, my movie reviews are kind of all over the place, so I hope you can follow along. And, here we go. Captain America Brave New World. What a terrible film to put out thinking that this would help the MCU at all. Again, like I said before, it was all over the place, but here was the plot. So basically, Captain America and his Falcon, his new Falcon that's in training, they rescue a package that the president wanted them rescued earlier on in the film. And once that's all said and done, the president's like, hey, cool, man. Thank you for doing that. Have a good day. Maybe I'll invite you to the White House. And they go and visit a friend by the name of Isaiah, an older gentleman who was a super soldier who served his country to do a little bit of training. The president calls and says, I'd love for you guys to be a special guest. And he goes, Isaiah, why don't you come and be the special guest with me at the White House and come and meet the president? When they get to the White House, the president takes Sam Wilson to the back and says, hey, I got a mission for you. I want you to bring the Avengers back. That's your mission. You're Captain America now. Bring the Avengers back. And Sam's like, I don't know, Mr. President. Last time, we did something that you didn't like. You had us all thrown in jail. He goes, maybe we could work through it. Let's figure that out. They go out, they take a couple pictures, and now everyone's sitting around with other world leaders, especially the Prime Minister of Japan, and they talk about the Celestial and all the rare metal that they found. This is from the movie Eternals. If you didn't see the Eternals, probably have no idea what's going on. And the president's like, hey, we can do a joint treaty and we can all benefit from this. Well, some weird music plays in the room at the White House, and Isaiah, the old super soldier, and a few other soldiers just go into a daze. They grab guns from the cops and start to shoot the president. The president's rushed off. Isaiah, his friend, runs outside, and then he comes to and he gets arrested. He's like, I'm not going back to jail, because I have superpowers. They did experiments on me. And Captain America's like, don't worry, I got you, man. I'm gonna figure this out. He storms back in later to talk to the president and says, hey, listen, my friend Isaiah is in jail. Something happened. Let me be the lead investigator. The president's like, no, you let this happen. That was your friend. He tried to kill me. You're no longer Captain America. You're no Steve Rogers. Oh, he gets mad, and Sam Wilson walks out, and he's like, I'm going to get my crew together, and we're going to investigate and save my friend from jail. So that's the whole thing, right? That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to figure this out. Juan Carlo, who's in there, he goes to find Juan Carlo because Juan Carlo was looking for a special buyer who he thinks is all connected to help get his friend out. And they start doing this investigation. They figure out there was some weird lights playing on a cell phone that puts these soldiers in a trance, that they can be controlled. They don't know who's doing it. And then eventually they discover it's the leader, right? The guy that had gamma stuff dripped on his brain from the Hulk film way back when, and now he's super smart. So they figure out it's him, and what he's going to do, he's going to pin Japan and America to go to world war together because he's mad at the president. Why is he mad at President Ross? because he helped President Ross with something, and the president promised that he would let him out of jail and work at the White House for whatever. I have no idea why. It doesn't really make much sense, but they figure that all out. President Ross the entire time is taking pills. It looks like he's like every time he gets stressed out, he opens up this weird pill bottle and takes a pill. Okay, that's just very throughout the film. You can clearly see it, and they want you to see it. They want you to understand the whole thing. So once Captain America begins to understand, and listen, there's a lot of time that goes on, and it's very odd. And this is the quick version. Sorry. Once he understands like all this is happening, he's trying to get to the president to figure out how he can, stop all this. Well, the leader escapes from jail, and he is going to start World War III. So he takes over some soldiers. They fire upon a Japan naval vessel. Meanwhile, the president's also on a naval vessel heading out to this big celestial thing out in the ocean. There's no way the president would be on there, but he is. So he's out there trying to stop World War, but also trying to take this peace for himself. And we see the first evidence that he starts turning into Red Hulk as he gets mad by himself. But then he calms himself down, and he's fine. Sam Wilson, as the Falcon with Captain America colors, tries to stop the war and tells Japan, hey, look, these are rogue pilots. I'm going to try to stop them and figure them out and all this stuff. And, his sidekick, the Falcon, now gets injured and now is in the ICU. Sam Wilson goes to the ICU and is like, man, I don't know if I can do this. I'm not Captain America. And Bucky shows up and he's like, no, he gave you that shield. You're Captain America. You can do it. And walks out of the room. And that was a quick appearance from Bucky. So now Sam Wilson has a new vigor that he's going to stop things. He then confronts the president again and says, hey, look, there's a lot of things going on here. We know that my friend was hypnotized and stuff. And the president doesn't like it. He gets angry. Anyway, they end up talking in the back room. And he's like, I know it's the leader. What's going on? What connection do you have? And President Ross was like, listen, I got heart problems. And he's super smart. And I asked him to develop a pill that will keep me alive. And he did. So I got to take these pills every day. And I promised him, this and that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to release him. Sam Wilson's like, man, that's terrible. Why would you do that? Well, the leader has already escaped. And he's making his plot. This is kind of the stuff that's stupid. He kills a bunch of soldiers, right? Because he can. But he wants to expose the president as a terrible person. So what does he do after he killed a bunch of soldiers? He just literally turns himself in front of Captain America. He's like, you're going to find out how bad President Ross is. He's a terrible person. So he gets captured, put in handcuffs, and taken away. The president goes out he's back in Washington. He goes out to do a press conference. He's lost this treaty. He's lost everything. And then the leader lets go of top secret information, which exposes the president. He gets angry, turns into the Red Hulk, which he's only the Red Hulk for 5 minutes, starts destroying the White House. Captain America shows up, says, I'll divert him and move him somewhere else. Takes him to this little place on the side of DC where they fight. Now, you got to understand, Captain America now has Cap's shield. He's got his Falcon wings, which has been reconfigured from the people from Wakanda. So anytime he takes a punch, they get more powerful. And he's got a special mask that he wears. So they fight. He realizes he can stab the Hulk, even though you could shoot bullets at him and they have no effect. But his blades seem to go through the skin. So the Hulk is just pounding the crap out of the wings. This is the fast version again. Pounding the crap out of the wings, and they're getting all powered up with energy. He takes one of the wings, stabs the Hulk in the side. There's a big explosion, and they both get knocked out. Sam Wilson wakes up and walks over to see if he knocked out the Red Hulk. The Red Hulk stands up and he goes, I know you can kill me with one punch, but think about your wife who passed away. All of a sudden, cherry blossoms from the tree start to fall. The Hulk opens his hands and catches a cherry blossom and goes back to President Ross, Harrison Ford, where that's pretty much the end of the film. You see Captain America walking back to a special prison cell that he was in at one time, where the president is like, I want to congratulate you, President, for turning yourself in and relinquishing your power and doing the right thing. And I got someone here I want you to see, and it's Dr. Betty Ross. Liv Tyler shows up, and they have a moment. That's basically the end of the film. I did not stay for the end credit scenes. I was bored out of my mind. You could clearly see the reshoots and how they were trying to pace something together. The fight scenes were incredibly slow. And it's crazy because Captain America, with all his abilities, gets beat up by a single non-super soldier. Then he fights the Hulk. Then he gets beat up by a regular guy. Then he has to fight someone with superpowers, and he beats it. It's just everything is backwards. It just feels like there was no heart or passion put into this. This could have easily been a Falcon movie. But when I walked out, I was like, I felt like they were filming for the Falcon season 2 on Disney Plus. That's what I felt. This movie could have been so much better if they had just stopped and started over and maybe did something completely different. Again, who was the real bad guy? They're both arrested. The Red Hulk showed up for 5 minutes, gets defeated. Now he's in a special cage. Who knows if we'll ever see him again. The whole movie was Sam Wilson trying to figure out if he was worthy of Captain America. I don't know how long they're going to keep playing that over and over again. Juan Carlo shoots a couple people. He gets stopped, in the 5 minutes. No big deal. And that's literally it. And they also had a girl boss moment where one of the Secret Service agents is a girl that's 5'1", 50 pounds, and she beats up a bunch of grown men. I can't stand when they do that for no reason, especially if she has no superpowers. It's one of those things, and that's it. That's the film. Not worth my time. This was definitely an ABC, movie, something they could have just put on television, or they could have made it a season 2 for Disney Plus. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it stupid? Did you enjoy this review? Do you want to see more? Any other movies you want me to review? I don't know. I'm losing my voice. And I'm going to post my stuff now on Criticless. That's it. I'll talk to you next time.